Oh, hello everybody. Sorry I've been out for a while. I unfortunately had been out for a funeral and just had so many other things kind of going on. I apologize for the uh, delay in doing another video. This is something that I've been wanting to talk to you all about for quite some time, and it seems to be an issue that not only I face, but I see a lot of you others facing out there, whether I talk to you on the phone or via email, see your posts on social media, maybe it's in our Facebook group, and that is communication. There are literally there are so many issues that go on, and I'm going to kind of break some of these down, that ended up being much, much, much worse than they really needed to be. Okay? You haven't noticed I'm a little burned out, and it's already only Tuesday. Here's an example. I literally just got finished up with this. I had a driver, had a 7 p.m. pickup appointment yesterday. And driver shows up, gives the pickup number, not valid. Okay? I try to reach out to the shipper, reach out to my customer, find out what the issue is. It's still well within business hours. Nobody at the shipper wants to answer the phone. I stayed on that until 3 o'clock in the morning. They are a 24/7 shipper. Somebody over there would pick up the phone and just immediately hang up. I could hear them shuffling around and then click. The other numbers I had weren't really working. Went roundy round with this. Driver said that he would wait. Great driver. Very understanding. A lot more understanding than he needed to be. Hung around until today to load. I finally was able to reach somebody. They said soonest we can get them in is noon. Let my driver know. Driver grumbled a little bit. I did some begging and pleading. He said, fine, I'll do it. Okay. And he shows up there for his appointment, and I don't know why, but they started giving him all kinds of grief, nearly turned into a fist fight, and he eventually left. Okay? Something I should have done, I know better. I usually do it, is I check Google reviews on a shipper and receiver prior to the load. Gotten a little bit of a yank yesterday, didn't do it. This shipper has some of the worst reviews I've ever seen. Slow to load. Driver had a noon appointment. It was 11 o'clock the next day. Still doesn't have a dock. Stuff like that. Constant comments about being rude to drivers, unprofessional, things like this. Inevitably, I believe what's happening right now as I do this video is that my customer is dropping that supplier. As a result, they've run into issues with them in the past. Not quite this bad, but they have had issues. They just, for whatever reason, can't get it together. You would think that over a period of time that, they would kind of get their act together. I have seen other posts in regards to brokers. Driver calls, has an issue, driver staying in communication with the broker. Broker leaves at the end of the day, or left early for the day, and just left the driver hang until the next day. Don't do that. I also have had, myself personally, and other brokers that have had carriers who have not stayed in communication. There was an issue with a load. They had a pickup appointment. They were late. Couldn't reach them, etc., etc. We are all supposed to be professional. That is not professional behavior. People, if you want to get into this industry, if you're brand new and you have any misconceptions about making a six-figure income, you're going to have to learn communication. I don't care if you're a shipper, if you're a broker, if you're a receiver, if you're a driver, or an independent dispatcher. You've got to learn good communication. You've got to learn how to network. That's an entirely separate thing, but I mean, it is and it isn't. But communication is so key, right? I understand that we have family life, our social life. You know, we can't be strapped to the computer or the, whatever, 24/7. But when you have an issue and you're aware of it, you don't bail, and you don't not answer the phone. I'd really like to know what you guys think about this. Agree with me, disagree with me, tell me to go take a flying leap. But there again, I'm seeing a lot of issues, more so than I've ever seen with this lately. Things like not reading your rate confirmations, not knowing the load details. If you're a carrier, owner operator, dispatcher, read your confirmations. Okay? If there's an issue, contact your broker. Right? Don't just go, well, it'll be fine. I'll take care of it later. It might be too late. It might mean a deduction for you. And then you're what? Backpedaling. I've heard that before too. We have a customer that has some very special requirements. Paperwork must be turned in within 24 hours or deductions start. All listed in the confirmation. I can't tell you how many times carriers, dispatchers, drivers act like this is all brand new news to them after the load's been delivered. I've called dispatchers, for updates. They're supposed to provide updates. They don't. And as soon as I hear who it is, everything's fine, and hang up. You're not going to make it. Okay? I'm still working on getting a download for you carriers, drivers out there, dispatchers. Before you signed a broker carrier agreement, or even with the direct shipper, if you're after direct shippers, and you're out there doing that, before you sign their paperwork, make sure that there is something in there in regards to their accessorials, detention policy, layover policy, TANU, and things like that. People, I talked to drivers, carriers. You'd be surprised how many setup packets get sent out where there's no mention of any of that at all. And people sign it, they run into an issue. They've been sitting at a shipper or receiver for 6-7 hours, sometimes longer, a day, a weekend, and there's no mention of any of that in there. And then they go, Tim, what do I do? Broker's not answering, or broker said, well, I'll see what I can do. Well, what does your agreement say? Is there any mention of it in the confirmation? Well, I don't know. Why don't you know? Those are contracts, right? You signed a contract and didn't read it. whose fault is it at that point? So something a buddy of mine put together, and I have to get it on the other website, the truckersresource.com, is it's going to be a free download for you guys. It'll end up being a PDF that you can edit. You can add your company logo to it, fill in the little blanks, but it is a sheet for your accessorials, detention, layover, tonneau on there, and you can enter that in. Now, obviously, if you're asking for the moon and stars, you might have to be a little bit flexible with your rates or something, in order to get the sign on. But do not fill out those setup packets, whether it's with a broker or a direct shipper, without having that in place. If there's no mention of it in there, you send over that sheet and you get them to sign it before you sign that paperwork. Otherwise, you've been warned. Okay? I'm just here to help you guys. That's why we have these websites, right? Freight Broker Resources, Truckers Resource, right? There's things out there for you guys. That's my whole purpose, is to try to help you guys, okay? Whether it be for factoring, like I just mentioned with the accessorials and things, training, schools, load boards, how to do sales calls, all of that stuff. I can go on and on and on. If you're looking for news, it's on there, right? But yeah, communication truly, truly is very, very key to this business, right? It's going to be, communication is not only key in that aspect, but it's also key if you're a carrier working directly with a shipper, or if you're a broker working with, your customer, to stay in communication with them, right? You know what? Before I get into all of that, let's do a quick word from one of our sponsors here real quick, okay? From Core Fund Factoring.
What makes Core Fund Capital different from other freight factors? Free same-day funding, email invoices, extended funding time, highest advances, customer credit checks, discount fuel card, Saturday funding, quick and easy qualifying, non-recourse programs, no minimums, no long-term contracts. Core Fund Capital, we turn your invoices into same-day cash.
Okay, so Core Fund Factoring, guys, if you're a carrier out there, an owner operator that needs to factor, I highly, highly, highly recommend Core Fund. You can find some more information about them on the truckersresource.com. If you have any questions, need to talk to a rep or anything, reach out to me. Okay, get on the group. I'm the admin. Links for everything is down below in the description there. Just click on that, take you to what you need. Leave a comment if you need to reach out to me directly, if you're not already a member of the group. If you're not a member of the group, I do highly recommend you become a member of the group. We do everything we can to keep the group spam free. We're very, very diligent about that. In fact, I just kicked 3 members today for spamming the group. Don't spam the group. All right, we're working on what, 21,000 members, I think it is right now, somewhere in there. Are we the largest out there? No, but we are quality over quantity. Okay. So where did I leave? So communication with your customers, right? Whether you're a carrier working directly, with a customer, or or with your broker, or if you're a broker working with your shipper. Oftentimes, the transportation managers over there, they might not understand rates being what they are. Why did this lane go up, down, things like this. it's important to communicate with your customer. Okay, we all know that fuel's going up. It seems to be going up every single day. And some places it's a penny. Sometimes it's 3 to 10 cent jump. It just depends, where you're at. Some states have gotten hit worse than others. If they intend on shutting down that pipeline that I've seen news of, well, get ready, right? I hope they don't, my personal opinion. But if they do, I think that we can expect to see some higher fuel costs over the winter. Again, kind of a separate issue, but just kind of using that as an example. When you're seeing, market rates go up and things, it's so important to talk to your customers, and really kind of have a heart-to-heart with them and explain, what's going on. If it's tough finding capacity, all these kinds of things. Get right down on a personal level with them. I have customers that call me. We talk about a lot of personal things, what's going on with their family, my family, things like that. They've really almost gotten to become friends, and we are their preferred resource to assist with their freight needs. Don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone. If they're close enough nearby, go over and talk to them. Go visit them when you get a chance. I actually had a driver pick up locally here a week ago. I actually went up there and met with him. Bought his lunch and, checked in, made sure everything was okay. I don't get an opportunity to do that very often. But I did. Everything was pretty square. But yeah, guys, seriously, communication in all aspects of what we do is so important. It's more than an email. It's more than a text. It's getting on the phone. And if it is after hours, if it's 8, if you're a driver and you have an 9 o'clock p.m. Or later pickup appointment, if there's an issue, you should have some sort of after hours phone number to reach out to a broker, right? I know that some places have like a call center or something, and I see it, I hear about it. I've been listening on the other line to some of it. There's, really not much they can do until the broker gets into the office in the morning. Hopefully if we've crossed all the T's and dotted all of our I's, we shouldn't really have that many issues to begin with, but things happen, right? Trucks break down, typos, things like this. But we do what we can. I personally don't like problems. When there's problems, it screws with my universe, and I don't like it. I don't like it when it screws with my driver's universes or my dispatcher's universe. So everything that I can do to avoid that, I do. Right? We don't ever just assume. So, guys, I'm sorry I wasn't like my, I guess, normal upbeat self today. I apologize. I've just got a really bad headache, and I've been meaning to do this video for a while. I had a little bit of time here now to kind of get this out. I do have some other things that I want to talk to you guys about in some upcoming videos, and I promise I'll try to get another one out to you guys ASAP. Going through the rest of the week and rest of your career, don't forget how important communication is. And I know we try to automate as many things as we can. Just do things via email, text, or whatever, a click of a button. That's all fine and dandy to an extent, but at the end of the day, it's really that face-to-face, that phone call, that voice, because we're all servicing a customer at the end of the day, whether you're a carrier servicing your broker servicing your customer, or whatever. or in this instance, this particular shipper servicing my my customer, you know, and they just completely lost the ball, and now they've probably lost that business, or probably at the very least, I imagine a few heads rolled today. But we got the driver taken care of, got him some Tanu. It's a little, it is what it is, right? We do the best we can. Get him paid for his time and frustration. Keep him taken care of, and move on and try to avoid it in the future. So yeah, guys, check those Google reviews. I'm really thinking that yeah, I've got so many updates and things that I want to get done for you guys, but I'm really thinking that I'm probably going to add another page, and I'll try to break it down state by state. I may even make a post about it in the Facebook group in regards to bad shipper and receiver experiences, and kind of get a collection of that. Now, I don't want, if I do that and you guys, you know, comment, you know, with this place, I don't need names, just company name and city, state, and a brief description. I don't want emotion to play into it, right? Because this is business. We don't want to get catty, right? Just a brief description. I mean, I realize that there's some other sources out there. There's forums and there's, you know, other posts and groups, but who wants to really go through and search for all of that? But if we had a page dedicated to that, where you could look up alphabetical, you know, state by state, you know, drivers could look at them or something, you know, brokers could look at them, and everything, and just kind of see, for instance, like, might have to use some caution on this one, or just avoid it altogether like the plague, right? That's something I think I'm going to probably end up putting together. But there again, I don't want any emotion involved in it. So that being said, guys, let me know what you thought about this video. If you have any other ideas, you know, for the website, you know, what you thought about, you know, communication, how important it is. Maybe it's not important to you. Maybe you're doing just fine. Maybe you're making bajillions and gazillions of dollars. You know, maybe you're making billions instead of millions. I don't know. Anywho, yeah, let me know what you think. Drop comments down below. Don't forget to give us a like, hit that bell notification, and as always, be kind to one another.